So we are blessed with two coaches as we're entering the final video preview of the ski season. And we'll go ahead and, like we always do, go ahead and recap the weekend before. So, another really, really close team race between us and the field at the Central Region. But 1 point does it again, and we qualify a full team. First off, let's go ahead and talk about that. We had a bunch of all-region performers, and what'd you see out there in Michigan?
Yeah, we couldn't have been more proud of the team at the NCAA Central Regional Skiing Championships. Like you said, Matt, to come away with the overall combined team title was one of our biggest performance goals on the season for the team. And man, to be honest, we didn't know if it was going to be possible about halfway through the week, because we had over half of the team that came down with some sickness. And so that was really challenging for preparation going into that week. But the team came out with like an amazing day on Saturday, led by Skylar Patton winning the race, Henry Snyder getting second, his career best result, Adam Witkowski with another really strong race finishing fifth, Wes Campbell right behind him in sixth. And then we also had Cedric Keller, our fifth guy, score ahead of some other teams, third. So we had such amazing depth there that counted towards our team scoring to really kick us off on an amazing note to start off the championships. And on the women's side, Annabelle Needham had amazing races both days, and second, really close race. On the women's side, especially on Saturday, was really highly contested. I think the top three teams were separated by only a couple points. But Olivia Lavin had another outstanding race in fifth, and Henrietta had a great strong finish, getting I believe eighth that day as well. So it was a really positive sign, I think, through the adversity that we faced going into that weekend, that, oh my gosh, we can overcome this sort of adversity and we can still ski really strong as a team. So I think that gave us a lot of confidence going into Sunday, and Sunday was challenging for sure. It was a crazy race day. A lot of the teams had crazy swings happening where you just didn't expect some athletes to be skiing how they were, whether it was great or not so great from all the teams, but we hung on, right? And I think the coolest thing was just seeing that how tough the student athletes are and how many of the team really can contribute to the team's success, right? We saw that throughout the entire weekend. I think we had 10 different student athletes score for the team. So that's amazing, and I think that really shows that it takes the entire team to come away with championship titles. And so that really obviously made it special as well, and really feeling like every student athlete was a part of that victory.
Right, and we've kind of talked about that depth all year long, so it's kind of nice to, it's always a blessing to have, that next person up mentality, especially with the week that we had. Kristen, Tom kind of touched on it in the recap last week, but what's it mean to have athletes like Skylar and Annabelle on the women's side, as far as just being people that perform every week?
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing to have those athletes. It's a pretty hard thing to do, to be able to ski at your best every single weekend. I think that Skylar and Annabelle are at this level that even when they have maybe what they would consider a not so great day, they're always going to be really high up on the results list. So yeah, I mean, it really means a lot because, of course, the team counts on them. We all count on them, so there's a lot of pressure. I think, though, that Skylar and Annabelle specifically, too, they just have this really amazing race mindset, and they don't let things get in their way. They can ski in adverse conditions, and they just really, really know how to dig deep, which is a really amazing quality to have. So, yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have members of the team like that, and they're really great leaders for everybody else.
And I'll go ahead and touch on, we'll get into the qualifiers as well, but Kristen, you skied here as well. What's it mean to see this program kind of develop and really come into its own with having so many qualifiers and kind of having that upward trend all year long?
Yeah, I mean, it's come a long way since my days. I think it means a lot to me because, you know, as an athlete, maybe I didn't see this quite as much, but once I left Michigan Tech, I really realized like what it took to be a good athlete, and I knew that Michigan Tech had everything that anybody needed to be the best Nordic skier in the country. And yeah, I mean, we have all of those things. We have these amazing trails and we have these great facilities. So it really means a lot to see the work pay off and to see that Michigan Tech can be one of the best Nordic ski teams in the entire country. So yeah, I mean, it's really special. There are really specific moments that I'll never forget in our time here. And yeah, it's really special to be able to see these milestones. Like our first All-American was Sarah Goebel. That was really an emotional day, and it was just really amazing. And I mean, even thinking back to last year at NCAA's when Annabelle was 4th place in the country, it was just like, it was mind-blowing, but not really mind-blowing because we knew those things we were capable of that. But it's really cool to be able to see those things happen.
And so we'll get into it then. So moving into Lake Placid, New York for nationals, going the 9th through the 11th, that is. So we've qualified a whole team. You know, we kind of touched on how that feels, but what do we know? We had a few athletes out in Lake Placid earlier this year. Have we used that to our advantage yet? What's that course look like? What does the team know about Lake Placid? Yeah,
I think, I mean, having Henrietta, Annabelle, and Adam all ski in Lake Placid, that's huge. They got a lot of really great opportunities. The women have a 5K skate, and some of them were able to ski that course. So it's definitely an advantage to be able to ski that course before NCAA's. So I think that's going to be super helpful. And, you know, those athletes will have some great takeaways for their teammates as well. Anything you want to add?
No, I think the big thing too is just the fact that, like you said, shared experience. They've raced those courses at World University Games. We saw last year. Last year was another great example. We had U.S. Nationals at Soldier Hollow in Utah, so the whole team went and competed in that event, and then we got to go back and compete at that same venue at NCAA Championships. And so it does make a big difference for all student athletes to have that experience on those race courses. And the last part, I think, is just that the courses, I think, really do suit our strengths as a team. They're challenging courses, really hard climbing courses, and we've got an amazing team of climbers. So I'm really confident, that our best races are to come, and that's a really fun place to feel like you're in as a team going into the national championship.
And I'm going to kind of backtrack, Tom, but, what does it mean to you without having, you don't have a whole lot of affiliation until you became the coach here. What does it mean to you to have the same success of qualifying the whole team and kind of still having, as you said, you still feel like there's the best races still left to be raced? Yeah,
I mean, you can never, I think, take anything for granted. This year really showed us that. I mean, we only had there's only 6 spots for the Central region for women and only 8 for men out of, 6 different schools. And only every school can send a max of 3. And so we're the only institution in the Central region that's sending a full team of women and a full team of men. So that alone is an outstanding achievement going into this championships to be able to field a full squad. And we have only done that a few other times in our tenure as well. So, but this year I feel like it was a greater challenge than even years past, because the other cool thing is I feel like the depth of the Central region is just getting stronger. And so it went down to the last races at regional championships for those final positions, right? Those final spots. And so, one is we're really confident in the full team that we have going, just really proud to be representing Michigan Tech with a full squad at NCAA Championships. And we have some amazingly fast and experienced student athletes that are going to be representing us. All of our women, Annabelle, Henrietta, and Olivia, have all raced at NCAA championships before, right? And two of our men, Skylar and Colin, they got to race at NCAA championships last year. And then, like we said, Adam, he's just had a phenomenal senior season. He's got to race at World University Games already this year in Lake Placid, and he raced in the World Cup. So I think he's ready for that championship environment, and it's not going to like phase it. It's not going to affect him in a negative way, right? He's going into it just really being like, oh my gosh, this is senior season. This is so cool that I get to be here. And I don't need to have any expectations of results. I can just go out and have confidence that if I continue to ski how I've skied all season, and then the results will be there.
Great, and we also have that alternate with Henry just to really talk about more of the depth of the team and the region as well. So, it's also exciting for him to be able to also have a really big weekend, especially that Saturday race as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I better let Kristen touch on that.
Yeah, it's awesome to have Henry on the team. He seems to always do this where he just lights it up at the end of the season, and we know he's so capable of doing it. And it's just, with our men's team this year, we had such a strong team. It was so hard to get onto that NCAA team. And he did it, and we're so proud of him. And his Saturday's skate race, I think I just got goosebumps when I was watching him ski up the hill, because he was just like fighting so hard, and he was just having, like, I would say, one of the best races of his career, coming away with that second place finish. So yeah, although Henry's the alternate, and he might not be racing, we're just so stoked to have him on the team, and we're really excited for him. And yeah.
Well, great, guys. Well, best of luck next week. We'll be cheering at home.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Go Huskies. You.
Woof woof.